I'm David VanDyke, and this is Behind the Bars of BRINK. The initial seed of the idea for this film came over 3 years ago now. One day I was on YouTube looking for new videos to watch, and it just was on autoplay doing its thing. And it popped up this video, and it was about the Anthony Curcio armored truck heist.
The question at the heart of it, how to keep eyewitnesses from identifying him.
Well, he did what any deep-thinking robber would do. He hired extras, people who had no idea what they were showing up for, cloning himself 15 times over. And if it sounds like a movie, it might soon be. Immediately,
I knew this was going to be something that I create. In that moment, the inspiration hit, and it sent me on this over 3 year long journey now to see it through. The ambition, the bootstrapping mentality is really what carried this through, what made this possible to actually be something now you can see on screen and see it in a short film format, which to me, this is something that ultimately needs to be a feature, but I had limited amount of money, limited amount of experience, and very limited assets and crew to be able to call upon. I had my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K camera, an even older slider, one LED panel or two, and experience to guide me, and just the knowledge of how to make a film. I mean, I've been making films since a kid. I knew the process. Of course, doing something on this type of scale with all these actors, locations, and everything that demands was really the learning curve, really where the hard work needed to come in. But of course, I was driven to tell this story. Anyways, fast forward, end of 2019 into 2020, I set out to write the script. The script, which took me about 6 months, obviously went through many drafts. I put it out for feedback. And of course, I wasn't just gonna write something that was based on someone else's story without approaching them first. So I went out to Facebook, I tried to find this guy, and I was able to contact him. And I basically just asked, hey, I'm making this film, I'd love to use your story, I'd love to do this project. And it was met with simply a brick wall, as it felt, in the sense that to use the actual story rights and the likeness would have been a near impossibility just with the current rights that were tied up in other networks. But I decided that I'm not gonna use his likeness, I'm not gonna tell that same story, I'm gonna adapt it. It's gonna, instead of based on a true story, it's gonna be inspired by true events. And that is the premise on which I decided to edit the script, decided to ultimately make the film, right? So I spent the rest of the summer just correcting certain details, making it more applicable for a general audience. It got to the point where I needed to just start shooting this, or else it was gonna literally take forever. And it feels like it took forever now. And so, pandemic in full swing, this is 2020. I put out some casting calls. I went on Facebook for crew and auditioning actors through Zoom and things like that. And I was able to put together a good team of people that would help me make this.